Meanwhile, this is what it looked like in Washington, D.C. today as workers from that agency, from USAID, were each given a grand total of 15 minutes by the Trump administration to come into USAID headquarters and retrieve their belongings from their offices. While they were doing that, people showed up in big numbers to support them and clap for them and to say thank you.
Oh, there's so many emotions. I already cried this morning when I arrived. Someone said, thanks for being here, and I just burst into tears.
Thank you. We're here. We thank you. This is not happening in the dark.
That was Washington, D.C. today as people showed up to support and thank USAID workers who the Trump administration is trying to fire as they try to shut down that agency, even though they pretty clearly are just legally not allowed to do that. People turning out to protest, but also support the people who are at the sharp end of this stick. One of the tools the Trump administration has been using to try to destroy USAID and to disassemble so many other agencies is wholesale firing, en masse firing, everybody who's considered a probationary employee. And you've heard that term over this last couple of weeks when they have been using this as the basis for firing people. Being a probationary employee, it usually means you're in your first year or two on the job. It can also mean that you've transferred into a new job or you've been promoted within the last year or two. Probationary makes it sound like you've been in trouble, right? And you're like, you're on probation. We're watching you because you did something wrong. It's not that at all. It is a meaningless category in terms of the importance of the work that's being done by that employee, their skill level, their performance, their value to the government and to their agency. But nevertheless, the Trump administration has ordered mass firings of people based purely on that classification just because they thought it would be easy to get away with that, legally speaking. Turns out, not so fast. Tonight, a federal judge on the West Coast, a federal judge in California, has just ruled that the Trump administration's instructions to agencies about indiscriminately firing all these people, thousands and thousands of probationary employees thus far. A judge just ruled tonight that the instruction from the Trump administration to all the agencies about firing these people is, quote, illegal and, quote, should be stopped, rescinded. Federal Judge William Alsup said from the bench in his ruling tonight, quote, the Office of Personnel Management does not have any authority whatsoever under any statute in the history of the universe to hire and fire employees within another agency. He said, quote, it can hire its own employees, yes, can fire them, but it cannot order or direct some other agency to do so. Judge Alsup further ordered tonight from the bench that the rescinding of the Trump administration directive to fire probationary employees, he ordered that the rescinding of that directive should be conveyed tonight to the Pentagon, to the U.S. Defense Department. And I think that's because tomorrow is the day on which the Pentagon was otherwise expected to march more than 5,000 fired employees out the door. Well, again, the judge said the Defense Department needs to be informed of my ruling tonight, not tomorrow, tonight. So whether or not they still try to fire those 5,000 plus employees tomorrow at Defense Department, it may not happen because of this judge's order. We shall see. We don't think that this order from this judge tonight means that all the other probationary employees who have already been fired are going to be reinstated. We don't think that's the implication of this ruling, but we're going to have to wait to see his written order in this case, which we expect tomorrow. Again, he ruled from the bench tonight. He ordered that his ruling from the bench be conveyed to the Pentagon, but we expect his written ruling tomorrow.